Greetings aspirants, welcome to the Daily Current Affairs by CivicCentre IAS, where we try to discuss important and relevant articles for UPSC CSE Prelims perspective. So, now coming to the first article, the article says that the National Geospatial Policy 2022, notified by the Government of India on December 28, 2022, is a transformative policy aimed at positioning India as a global leader in the geospatial sector. With a long-term vision extending to 2035, the policy seeks to liberalize and democratize access to geospatial data, fostering innovation and enabling its widespread use across governance, business, and academia. So, now in this context, we are going to discuss about the geospatial technology and also the National Geospatial Policy 2022. So, geospatial technology is a field that uses tools like geographic information system and also global positioning system and remote sensing for geographic mapping and analysis. These tools help in capturing spatial information about objects, events, and phenomena which are geotagged to their precise location on Earth. Now, let's move on to the Geospatial Policy 2022. The objective of this policy is to liberalize, democratize access to geospatial data. By doing this, the policy aims to boost innovation, governance, and economic growth. The policy has outlined several key goals for the future. By 2035, it aims to establish a liberal policy framework and a unified digital interface for public geospatial data, and also strengthening governance by encouraging public-private sector collaboration. And by 2030, the focus will shift to conducting the high-resolution topographical surveys and also developing a digital elevation model and a geospatial knowledge infrastructure. And by 2035, the plan includes mapping inland waters and subsurface infrastructure, developing a national digital twin for urban centers. This policy is also in alignment with the PM Gati Shakti initiative. This initiative focuses on the integrated planning and also the data-driven decision-making for infrastructure development. And real-time geospatial data will play a crucial role in enhancing connectivity and resource utilization. Finally, there are some key initiatives under the policy, which include the National Geospatial Mission has been allocated 100 crores in the budget 2025 to 2026 to focus on modernizing land records and also urban planning. And Operation Dronagiri is also being piloted in 5 states to test the use of geospatial technology for boosting governance and improving economic efficiency. In the conclusion, geospatial technology and the National Geospatial Policy 2022 aim to enhance the efficiency of governance and economic activities by harnessing the power of data. This will ultimately help India in achieving smarter infrastructure and development strategies for the future. Coming to the next article, the article talks about the delimitation. So, we are going to know about the delimitation in this article. Delimitation refers to the process of defining the number of seats and the boundaries for territorial constituencies in each state for both the Lok Sabha and the State Legislative Assembly. This process is essential for organizing electoral divisions. This process includes several key steps. First, fixing the seats. This involves establishing the number of electoral seats for each constituency. It ensures that each area has its fair representation in the legislative body. Next, boundary definition. In this step, the geographical boundaries of each constituency are determined. This helps in clearly outlining where each constituency begins and ends. Then reservation of seats. In this step, specific seats are allocated for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. This ensures that these communities are adequately represented in the legislative bodies. And also, coming to the constitutional basis, the process of delimitation is mandated by Article 82 and 170 of Indian Constitution. These articles require the readjustment of seats and constituencies after the census to reflect the changes in the population. Now, talking about the Delimitation Commission, the actual process of delimitation is carried out by the Delimitation Commission, which is set up under an Act of Parliament. This commission ensures that the process is carried out fairly and impartially. And delimitation commissions have been established 4 times, specifically in the year 1952, 1963, 1973 and 2002. Each of these commissions has played an important role in reshaping the electoral bonds based on the population changes. In the conclusion, delimitation is a crucial process in ensuring fair representation in elections by adjusting the seats and boundaries to match the changing demographics of the country. Now, coming to the next article, National Science Day is celebrated every year on 28th February to commemorate the discovery of the Raman effect made by the eminent physicist Sir C.V. Raman while working in the laboratory of Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science, Kolkata. For this discovery, he was awarded the Nobel Prize in 1930. So, on the occasion of National Science Day 2025, let's discuss some of the key advancements in science and technology in India for the year 2024. First, let's look at the India's global standing in terms of innovation and intellectual property. According to the Global Innovation Index 2024, India holds 39th rank globally, showing significant progress. In addition, when it comes to intellectual property filings, India ranks 6th as per the WIPO report, reflecting the country's growing strength in protecting new ideas and innovations. Furthermore, India's position in Network Readiness Index 2024 is 49th, which is a significant improvement from the 79th position in 2019. This shows that India has made remarkable strides in improving its ICT infrastructure and digital transformation. Moving on, India has also launched the Anusandhan National Research Foundation under the ANRF Act 2023. This foundation aims to enhance the country's research and development ecosystem, promoting innovation and supporting scientific research across various sectors. Now, let's talk about the National Quantum Machine. This mission focuses on several key areas including quantum computing, communication, sensing, and materials. The goal is to position India as a global leader in quantum technologies, which are expected to revolutionize industries worldwide. India has also made significant advancements in supercomputing. The National Supercomputing Mission has expanded India's computational power to 32 petaflops with a target to reach 77 petaflops. This advancement supports high-level research and technology development across sectors. So, looking at the key installations, there have been some key installations under the National Supercomputing Mission, including a 3 petaflop supercomputer at Inter-University Accelerator Center, New Delhi. Additionally, supercomputers have been set up at NCRA Pune and the S.N. Bose Institute, Kolkata, further strengthening the country's computational capabilities. And coming to artificial intelligence and cyber physical systems, India has also made a significant progress in artificial intelligence and cyber physical systems. One of the key highlights is the development of BharatJan, India's first multimodal and multilingual large language model for generative AI. This breakthrough will enable India to be at the forefront for AI development globally. Moreover, the iHub Quantum Technology Foundation is providing funding for 8 startups, fostering innovation and entrepreneurship in the field of quantum technologies. So, in the conclusion, India's advancements in science and technology in 2024 highlight the country's ongoing commitment to progress in key areas like innovation, supercomputing, quantum technologies, and artificial intelligence. These developments are helping India strengthen its position on the global stage while also driving national growth and development. Coming to the next article, the article says about the Champakam Dorairajan case 1951 and its significance along with the first amendment of the Indian Constitution which took place in 1951. So, let's discuss about the Champakam Dorairajan case 1951. The Champakam Dorairajan case was revolved around the caste-based reservations in educational institutions in Madras state. The case was filed to challenge these reservations, claiming they violated the Indian Constitution. The central issue in this case was the reservations were a violation of Article 15 Clause 1 of the Indian Constitution, which prohibits discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, or place of the birth. The petitioners urged the caste-based reservations were unconstitutional because they went against the spirit of equality enshrined in the Constitution. The Supreme Court's verdict in this case ruled that state-imposed reservation in educational institutions violated Article 15 Clause 1 as the Constitution did not allow for reservations based on caste. This ruling created a significant legal and political challenge for the reservation systems in India. The impact of this case was significant because it directly led to the First Amendment to Indian Constitution. This amendment was made to protect the reservation policies and to ensure that such policies could continue legally. So, now let's talk about the First Amendment of the Indian Constitution 1951. The First Amendment of the Indian Constitution was introduced primarily to protect the reservation policies that were challenged in the Champakam Dorairajan case. The amendment also aimed to safeguard freedom of speech and public order by making necessary changes to Article 19. Now looking at the key provisions of the first amendment include Article 15 Clause 4. This provision allowed the state to implement reservations for socially and educationally backward classes, thus legally protecting caste-based reservations in education and jobs. And Article 19 Clause 2. This introduced reasonable restrictions on freedom of speech in the interests of public order, decency and morality, ensuring that free speech could be regulated to maintain social harmony. And the significance of this amendment lies in the fact that it laid the foundation for affirmative action and reservation policies in India, ensuring that these policies continued to promote equality and social justice for marginalized communities. In conclusion, the Champakam Dorairajan case and the subsequent First Amendment played a crucial role in shaping India's legal and social framework, ensuring the continuation of reservations and protecting the rights of socially and educationally backward communities. Coming to the next article, the government on Thursday appointed Finance and Revenue Secretary Tuhin Kanta Pandey as new chairman of the Securities and Exchange Board of India. So, now in this context, let's know about the Securities and Exchange Board of India, which is a key regulator of security market in India. So, SEBI is a statutory body, meaning it has been established by law, and its main role is to protect investor interests and promote and regulate the securities market in India. Originally, SEBI was set up in 1988 as a non-statutory body, but it gained the statutory status through the SEBI Act 1992. Now, let's look at the key functions of the SEBI. Regulation of stock exchanges. SEBI controls the activities of stock exchanges in India. It ensures that these exchanges operate smoothly and according to the law. And investor protection. SEBI works to safeguard the rights of investors, ensuring that their investments are protected from unfair practices and market manipulation. And then the prevention of fraud. SEBI regulates stock market activities to prevent fraud and manipulation, ensuring that market operates fairly for all the participants. And also the market education, in which the SEBI also provides educational resources to investors, helping them to enhance their knowledge about how the market works, thus promoting informed decision making. Now let's move on to the powers of SEBI. SEBI has the power to enforce rules and regulations that harmonize statutory regulations and ensure the professional functioning of intermediaries in the market. Additionally, SEBI has the authority to investigate market malpractices and also to take action against those who violate the rules. Finally, let's talk about the SEBI's composition. The SEBI board consists of a chairman who is nominated by the union government along with other members, including representatives from the Finance Ministry and the Reserve Bank of India. The SEBI headquarters are located in Mumbai with regional offices in Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Chennai and also Delhi. In conclusion, SEBI plays a crucial role in ensuring that the securities market in India is fair, transparent and efficient, protecting both investors and the integrity of the market. Coming to the next article, a meeting of the Central Board of Trustees of the Employees Provident Fund Organization scheduled here on Friday will discuss the interest rate to be recommended for PF deposits for the coming financial year and review the implementation of the Supreme Court order on higher PF pension. So, now let's talk about the Employees Provident Fund Organization. EPFO is a statutory body, which means it is established by the law under Employees Provident Fund and Miscellaneous Provisions Act 1952. Its primary role is to manage and regulate the provident fund for workers in India. In addition to its core function, EPFO also serves as a nodal agency for implementing bilateral social security agreements with other countries. These agreements help workers who move between countries maintain their social security benefits. Furthermore, EPFO is one of the largest social security organizations in India. It has a massive beneficiary base and handles significant amount of financial transaction related to the provident fund. Finally, the EPFO operates under the administrative control of the Ministry of Labour and Employment, which is part of Government of India. In conclusion, EPFO plays a crucial role in ensuring that workers in India are provided with financial security after their retirement, and it continues to be an essential part of country's social welfare system. Coming to the next article, a 16-year-long assessment of trends in turtle populations in India says the number of the olive Ridley species suggests a study or growing population. However, rising sand temperatures due to climate change are causing a large proportion of these turtles to be females, raising questions on the long-term viability of the population. So, today we are going to learn about the olive ridley turtles and the efforts being made for their conservation. The olive ridley turtle gets its name from the olive green color for its heart-shaped shell. These turtles are among the smallest of the world's sea turtles, and they are primarily found in the tropical regions of the Pacific, Indian and Atlantic Oceans. Olive ridley turtles are carnivores and are easily reorganized by the olive-colored carapace. They are best known for the unique mass nesting behavior called aribada, which thousands of female turtles come together on the same beach to lay their eggs. Sadly, the olive ridley turtle is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, and it is also protected under Appendix 1 of Cities and Schedule 1 of Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Sadly, the olive ridley turtle is listed as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List, and it is also protected under the Appendix 1 of Cities and Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Now let's move on to the olive ridley turtle conservation efforts. The olive ridley turtle conservation project began in 2017. During the months of December to March, many olive ridley turtles come to the western coast of Maharashtra to lay their eggs. Once the eggs are laid, they are carefully guarded by a group of volunteers to protect them from predators and poachers. The eggs are typically hatched within 40 to 45 days, and the hatchlings are then safely released back into the sea. Previously, these eggs were either sold in the markets or destroyed by the dogs. But thanks to the conservation efforts, the olive ridley turtle population has started to rise. In recognition of these efforts, some of the key activities which include observing the olive ridley turtles as they lay their eggs and helping the volunteers to release the hatchlings into the sea, and tourists also get a chance to see different species of the turtles. In the conclusion, the conservation of olive ridley turtles is crucial to ensuring their survival, and these efforts are helping to protect these beautiful creatures for future generations. And coming to the next article, banks will stay conservative in short run while lending to non-banking finance companies due to the fears of performance in the sector, according to Pankaj Nayak, Director of India Ratings and Research. So, now in this context, let's learn about the non-banking financial companies and understand how they function in the financial sector. A non-banking financial company, in short NBFC, is a company that is registered under the Companies Act 1956. These companies are primarily engaged in the business of loans and advances, and they also deal with the acquisition of shares, stocks, bonds and debentures and securities issued by government or local authorities. Additionally, they can engage in activities such as leasing, hire purchase, insurance, business and chit businesses. However, an NBFC does not include any institution whose principal business involves agriculture, industrial activities, or the purchase or sale of goods, or providing services related to sale, purchase, construction of immobile property. One key point to remember is that NBFCs are generally not allowed to take traditional demand deposits from the public, which means they cannot offer savings or current account facilities. Instead, they are allowed to accept time deposits, which means the deposit must be for a fixed period between 12 months to 60 months. Also, NBFCs are not permitted to offer interest rates that exceed the ceiling rate prescribed by the Reserve Bank of India. In addition to this, they also provide a wide range of monetary services such as chit reserves and advances. When it comes to regulation, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs and the RBI both manage the functions of NBFCs. The RBI has the authority to issue license to NBFCs and regulate their operations and ensure that they comply with the prescribed norms and regulation. So, now let's compare NBFCs with the banks. NBFCs do not have banking license, which means they cannot accept demand deposits. Unlike banks, NBFCs do not form a part of the payment and settlement system, so they cannot issue check drawns on themselves. And NBFC depositors do not enjoy deposit insurance under the Deposit Insurance and Credit Guarantee Corporation, unlike depositors in banks who are covered by this facility. Lastly, NBFCs are not subjected to the same stringent regulations that banks are. In conclusion, while NBFCs play an important role in financial sector by offering various financial services, they operate under different regulations and limitations when compared to the traditional banks. Coming to the next article, the government on Thursday said that country is scouting for mining and exploration of critical minerals assets in Congo, Zambia, Tanzania and Australia. So, Today we are going to learn about the critical minerals and understand why they are so important for country's economy and security. A critical mineral is defined as a mineral that has higher supply risk and economic impact compared to other raw materials. These minerals are essential for a country's economic development, national security, and the functioning of its industrial sector. Now let's explore the key features of critical minerals. Coming to the economic significance, critical minerals are crucial for various sectors such as high-tech electronics, telecommunications, defense, and transportation. These sectors rely heavily on critical minerals for their operations and growth. Coming to vulnerability, there are certain vulnerabilities in the supply chain of these minerals, mainly because of extraction and processing are concentrated in only a few countries. This can create risks if supply is disrupted. So now let's look at the sectors that depend on critical minerals. Coming to the first sector that depends on the critical minerals is clean energy technologies like electric vehicles, wind turbines, and solar panels require critical minerals for their production. And then comes the information and communication technologies, including semiconductors, depend on these minerals for advanced manufacturing. And lastly, advanced manufacturing and defense applications also use critical minerals in products such as permanent magnets and ceramics. Now, let's see some example of critical minerals which include lithium, graphite, cobalt, titanium, and also rare earth metals. Now, let's talk about the significance of identifying critical minerals for India. Planning for mineral assets, identifying the critical minerals helping in India long-term planning to acquire and preserve these essential mineral assets, and then reducing import dependency. By identifying and securing critical minerals, India can reduce its reliance on imports, especially from countries like China, as India is 100% dependent on imports for certain minerals, and building competitive value chains. Strengthening the domestic availability of critical minerals helps in building competitive value chains, which in turn strengthens India's domestic industries and reduces foreign dependency. In the conclusion, critical minerals play a vital role in ensuring a country's growth and security. For India, understanding and securing these minerals is a key to reducing dependency on foreign imports and strengthening its economy. So, today in total we have discussed about 9 articles, and tomorrow we will be back again with another video. Thank you.